Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It's Alex Fox here. I'm doing a live this afternoon on Nailympia competition site. Thank you very much for joining me. I thought this would be a nice new feature to do while we're now highlighting and doing the Nailympia online series. That it would be really lovely to interview as many of the judges that would like to be interviewed by me for a nice, quick, short hello, who are you? Why? What's your journey? How have you ended up being a judge for Nailympia and what it means to you, etc., etc. So this is the point of the live, and today is the very first one. And I've got Gemma Lambert-Lewis of the UK who's coming on. She's just asked to request to join, so I'll bring her in and I'll tell you a little bit more. And then we'll chat to Gemma about her career. She should be coming in any second. Okay, so the reason Gemma... Oh, hello, Gems. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Gem? Right, I can't hear you. That's disturbing. Gem? I can't hear you. Oh, that's better. I can hear you. I can hear. That's it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's better. Good afternoon, Gem. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
I was just saying that this is a new series and you're the first judge to take me up on the offer of doing an interview because I wanted to talk to as many as possible while we're actually in the middle of doing the Nailympia online series, because it finishes, the closing date for the competition is the 17th of January. Okay. So it would be nice to talk to as many judges as possible. And the reason that that you're part of the Nailympia groove, just to tell the world, is that Gemma is 12 times, I wonder if it's still 12 times UK nail champion. She's got 3 Scratch Stars awards to her name, has been Nail Professional of the Year back in 2013. So has in fact is a very, very decorated UK tech, on top of running a very, very powerful, strong and fantastic business, academy, salon and the nail team. So basically I've known Gem through my work with Scratch magazine for years and years and years. Gem was competing in all sorts when I first joined the nail industry scene. And so I think, Gem, you've been in the industry longer than me, haven't you?
25 years.
Yeah, right. That's a long time. Wowzers. So I've known who Gemma is for many, 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 many years, and Gemma has kindly been part of many Scratch interviews. She's an expert voice for us, an expert tech. So, Gem, you tell me, what got you into nails? How did you end up in this fabulous industry?
So I was 15 years old and I was babysitting for a nail tech, and sort of instead of watching the kids, I ended up watching her do nails instead and decided that that was something I would be interested in doing while I was still at school. So I went to Barnsley College and did a 25-week nail course with OPI, and yeah, from that point on, especially the nail art, I fell in love, absolutely fell in love.
I didn't realise you started with OPI. That's interesting. Yeah. All those years ago. Okay. Well, it turns out that you found the right thing at a very early age, because you are exceptional when it comes to nail art, aren't you? That is your thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So after OPI training, who else have you trained with over the years before you established your own?
Oh, gosh. So my sort of initial training, I ended up doing a lot with Easy Flow with Anthony Buckley.
Oh, okay.
With Easy Flow before he moved over. So Anthony Buckley I did a lot with. Trang Nugent over in the USA with Odyssey. I did some training with him. He was amazing. And then I set up my own, and then I've done lots of other training since then.
Okay, so who in the industry along, 25 years is a long time, Gem. Who's really inspired you along that journey, that's really helped you and kept you excited about it?
Definitely Barbara Ujibari. and Christina Ujibari. They are just my idols. The work that they produce and the ideas that they come up with are just amazing. Christina Calamar, I love her work. I love her 3D, her fantasy.
Can you just clarify the countries that though? Because I think Ujavari is Hungary. Am I right?
Yeah, all three are from Hungary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I would say they're my three favourites that I definitely follow the most and take a lot of inspiration from.
Okay, so now tell us about how your particular journey started. So I'm guessing you started by starting your own business as a salon, but is that correct? Tell us where you started and how it's evolved.
So, because I was only young when I first started, I ended up buying a moped and being mobile on a moped.
Mobile on a moped?
Yes.
What on earth were you carrying back then?
This bag was on my back that was nearly the same size as me, and every time I sort of went to get off the bike, it would like pull me back because it was that heavy. It was probably not the safest thing to do.
Oh my goodness.
But it's 25 years ago, so but yeah, not long after that, I was 19 when I got pregnant with my eldest son. So then I worked from home. Then once he'd sort of gone off to nursery, that's when I got into the salons and into the management, and then opened my own salon at just 21.
Whoa, 21.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then how did that evolve? Did you, yeah, tell us how, I mean, how did that evolve? Did you change? Did you upgrade, move on? Are you in the same salon? What happened?
So I had that salon for 7 years.
Okay.
Nearing the sort of end of that time, I got repetitive strain injury.
Oh.
And my doctor basically said to me, you either change your job or you change the way you do it. And that's when I decided maybe if I go into teaching a couple of days a week, I'm not sat filing as much every day, because back then electric files were frowned upon, so it was all hand filing. So yeah, that's when I went into teaching, sold the salon after I'd been doing teaching for about a year, and went into the teaching side of it a lot more than having the salon. And then the nail team was actually, it was its 12th birthday last weekend.
Really? 12 years already?
Already, yeah.
Wow.
And that was set up between me and a lady called Kirsty Lund, who's not really in the industry anymore. She does cake decorations and she's amazing.
I remember Kirsty very well.
And then Kirsty obviously went off and it was just mine. So I sort of went into products and training and distribution and everything.
It's never happened to me on a live before. I apologise if that just went pausey and weird. Carry on, sorry.
Yeah, so the nail team's been going for 12 years now. We've had a base now where we've got a salon, a wholesaler, a training school. We rent out a couple of rooms to different people, like aesthetics people and people like that. Yeah, it's a decent size now.
So the nail team is not, as the name suggests, a team for nails. I mean, it is, but it's not. I imagined it was more an education team, but it's actually the whole kit and caboodle with distribution as well. And the salon's named the nail team, is it?
The salon's name is Gems.
Oh, Gems. Okay.
Is what my product is now named.
And what do you have? What does your product range actually incorporate, Gem?
At this moment in time, the Gems brand is just gel polish.
Okay.
But that is very shortly changing because that's only been going a year now. So that one will be growing quite fast over the next sort of 6 to 12 months.
Oh, so you're expanding your nail line very shortly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And how many educators do you have on the nail team?
I have shrunk it down literally this year. I've took it back down. There's just 3 of us now, and it was getting to the point where it was just a little bit too much management. So I've shrunk it down to just the 3 of us, and it's so less stressful now. It's so much nicer to be able to just sort of coordinate between the three of us now.
And who are the other two people, Gem?
We've got Gail Nichols, who's in Tamworth, and we've got Nicola Smith, who's in Preston.
Okay, so how does it work for you to deal with the UK? How do you deal with the UK if you've got somebody miles away that wants to learn with you? Well, how do you deal with that?
We generally get them to host. So if it's down south and we've not got someone down south, then we'll get them to host one of us educators, and we'll go down and do a few of them.
Oh, brilliant. So you can cover the UK no problem at all because you're mobile with it.
Yeah, definitely. I've been travelling all over the world teaching, so it's quite normal for me to be out and about teaching, yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. So what is a typical day for you, Gem?
Last year, completely different to this one.
Yeah.
Normally, a Monday is always group training because salons are generally closed, so Monday's normally a group training session. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, generally are one-to-ones. Most people want one-to-ones nowadays, which is my favourite way of teaching. And then Fridays I do my clients.
Just Fridays?
Just Fridays now, that's it.
Okay.
Fridays.
And how have you, if at all, embraced the idea of online education?
Massively. Luckily enough, about 2 years ago, we decided to launch some online nail art courses. So they were already on there. So then when obviously coronavirus hit, we just expanded on what we'd already got. So we've got 70 something online courses now.
70?
Yeah.
Wow.
16 free ones as well.
That's fantastic. So how can people find them, Gem?
So if they go to the website, which is www.thenailteam.com, there's an online booking there, and they can book on there, and we send them a link to a private Facebook group, and they do the course on there.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, that's interesting. There's quite a lot there I didn't actually know, Gem. You've done quite a lot since we last spoke.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So, Gemma, can you just tell the world why Nailympia is something you support and why you're happy to be on the judging team? What is it that makes you feel comfortable and part of this team?
Nailympia is most definitely the friendliest, most well-organised competition I've ever been involved with. The judges are all international, extremely knowledgeable. So to be a part of that team, for me, is an absolute honour. So I love that side of it, being a part of a massive international team. But the competition, the variety of the competitions, the fact that there's different levels and that everybody's thrown in at one level, and obviously it's massive. It's been massive from day one, and it's grown and grown and grown to the point where, like, was it last year that we had like 290 odd competitors on the floor, and it's huge now. So to be a part of that is just, like I say, it's an absolute honour.
Fabulous. And do you, as part of your repertoire, do you mentor and offer competition training to people? Because obviously you're a seasoned competitor yourself. Do you offer anything like that to people that are looking to get into the competition market?
I do offer in regards to the nail art. I stopped about 2 years offering the pink and white training purely because it's changed so much since I was competing. We used to do the typical put the white on first and then the pink. There was no cover pink back then. So I felt sort of a little bit out of it then and thought, no, it's not right that I offer pink and white competition training anymore. They need to go to somebody who's a recent competitor in the pink and white categories. But for the artwork, and definitely the photography ones as well, yeah, we do a lot of mentoring. Because my son is a photographer and he takes all our images for our products and things, so we work together when we're doing post shoots.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so that means then that you're very useful to people as a mentor on mixed media. What about the flat art?
Yeah.
Yep, flat art.
Pretty much every nail art I think there possibly is now.
Everything that's there, okay, because there's obviously quite a few in this new style Nailympia for online. There's actually quite a few art categories, as well as some nice natural nail in there, to try and make sure that there was something for everybody in there.
Yeah, definitely. I like some of the new categories actually. They're quite interesting.
It's nice. It's nice to deliver something. Well, it was about titivating and exciting people when times are, you know, tricky and difficult. Wanting to be as diverse and interesting, and just get nail techs happy and excited.
Yes, the nail techs definitely needed something to sort of keep them going, keep them with the passion, and not lose focus on, you know, what hopefully will be back to normal at some point next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also it's a reminder that we are a community or a family, whatever way you want to look at this. We operate as a family and need to find ways to jump into things together and feel like we're in a togetherness moment, especially this year, which has been, you know, astonishing on so many levels. So, well, is there something you want to talk about, Gem, while we're sitting here? Is there anything you want to tell the world?
More just to focus on the online courses, really. I mean, like I say, we're up to 16 free ones now.
What do they kind of cover, just for an idea, Gem?
At the moment, they're all nail art. I'm still trying my hardest to figure out how I could successfully teach structure online, because I always feel that's very much something that I need to be able to see exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, understandably.
It's interpreting into nail art, so I can do we've just done a set of nails, and somebody else's version of that can still be as beautiful as mine. It's a different version, and we're still happy to see that. But yeah, we offered 16 free ones purely because, like you say, we needed to give nail techs something to keep them going, a community where they could all talk to each other. So we set up these free courses. And also it was for me as well, it was for my mental health, that I had to feel like I was still doing something. There was no way I could just sit at home and have nothing to do. It would have killed me. So I taught the first one for me, really. And then,
Gem, can I stop you a moment? And sorry to be rude. I've got a message here saying people are struggling to hear you. It's not that they can't hear you. People can hear you, but you're quite quiet. Can you get maybe closer to your phone?
okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully that's better.
It's a good point you bring up there, Gemma, because I think one of the overriding things that is coming out at the moment is the anxiety and struggles that people are experiencing at the moment, and I know that this is something that you're quite in tune with. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. I know we spoke about it prior, that I've always struggled with different mental health problems. So to be able to help other people with their mental health is a massive thing for me to be able to do. And I'm so pleased that Stephanie Thornton's decided to bring back Nailing Mental Health, because I thought that was a fantastic idea, and I'll definitely be supporting her on that as well.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I'm glad you brought up the issue of mental health, because I wouldn't want to bring it up without you guiding me. But I know that you're a very empathetic creature when it comes to this style of thing, and you're a wonderful example of somebody that has addressed those issues yourself, and also had an incredibly successful journey in the snail industry. And I think you're quite a beacon for people that may be feeling sometimes like they're treading water and what have you. They just need to look at yourself to see that there's so many possibilities in the nail industry, so many places you can go. And is there any advice you'd like to give?
Well, for example, I actually went to compete in my first competition down in London, and the anxiety got the better of me and I didn't enter.
What, you got as far as London and then didn't show up on the arena?
All the way to the Excel competition with my model, my kit, and it just got too much. I couldn't. I was only 19, but I just couldn't do it. So I stuck around and watched the competition and looked at the results and thought, no, do you know what? Next time I really need to have a go. So the next time I did, the initial competition, the beginners competition back then was called Virgins. So I went into that competition and won by like 98 points. So at that point, the buzz that you get when your name's called out for first place is just amazing. And that is a story that I do tell people on a lot, because if you let that anxiety beat you, you never know where you could actually get.
Yeah, you don't know what you've missed, do you, if you let it. And Gem, have you ever done anything like, for example, in my early days, of basically almost panic attacks before I went just on the Nailympia stage. Gosh, in 2005, I was an absolute mess. And without Samuel Sweet beside me, I don't know what I'd have done, to be honest. But have you ever done anything like, I really rate Rescue Remedy.
Right, okay.
Have you ever done that?
No, I've done I've had the sort of therapy sessions where you do the CBT and try and, not CBT, CBD, and try and learn how to sort of calm yourself down and different techniques to do just before you do something that you know is going to cause you stress and anxiety. Just like doing this live today, I've spoke to my educators, they've calmed me down, I'm fine. But every live I do, and we do one on a weekly basis now, I still get nervous. And people can't believe that I still get nervous, because I've been in front of the camera now for God knows how many years, especially when I started with Mayo doing their videos.
No, I understand. I mean, in order for me, I did an interview earlier with Lisa Smith, and then you, and I was preparing myself mentally last night, because it takes me that long to get into a zone where I feel I can do it. And I have to run to the toilet, have a cup of tea and a naughty cigarette. All of those things have to happen in the 15 minutes before. We've all got our tools and our funny idiosyncrasies that keep us buoyant.
I think it's finding those. And once you've found those, you can then go ahead and do these scary things a little bit easier, because you've got those little crutches that you use to get you through it.
Oh, well, thank you very much for sharing those. And that is actually fascinating to hear, that you made it to London with a model and then didn't make it to the arena. And yet you ended up being the 12 times UK Nail champion, because you actually tried it again and went back and said, I can do it. So all power to you, Gem, because you've got 3 Scratch Stars awards, and I know they ain't easy to get.
The nail industry one was my proudest moment in my whole entire career. I was in the final for that for 4 years running. So to hear my name called out that year was just epic.
Oh, that's music to my ears. That's absolutely lovely. Oh, well, Gem, look, I think we've covered everything. I wanted to have an opportunity to bring judges on here to say hello to the nail competing world that we're running here and we're immersed in. And so thank you very much for taking the time to come on and say hello. And I hope people take you up on the 16 free courses you have, as well as looking at all the other ones you have, because you have a multitude, it turns out. And also look to you for some mentoring, because I know that's an absolutely brilliant place for anyone to go if they're into nail art and that side of things. They should be looking to, if they're looking for some help and guidance, then you're a super place to start.
Definitely, I love that.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed, and have a lovely rest of your day.
Take care.
Okay, bye, Gem.
Bye.